like this. Ouch. Whee! We good? We're filming? What's up, Ryda Nation? So today we got something cool for you if you haven't really thought about it. If you guys are getting ready for Daytona like Curtis is, well, you know, sometimes we got to think about making sure we got a fresh oil change in our motorcycles before we hit the road. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Let's go. Hopefully don't pick up the squeaking of my shoe. Like squeaky, 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 squeaky. All right, so today we are working on the Cream Dream. And well, you know, I'm going to change oil. I'm gonna show you guys a few things. And that way Curtis has some cool content with a cool ass YouTuber.
So you're just going to smoke the tires like that, huh?
Well, now that the motorcycle is properly warmed up, we can get the oil change.
That lean is no joke, is it?
That lean is no joke. So let's get the motorcycle up in the air, and then we will start to get the fluid draining. And I'm gonna show you where the drain plug's at, so check this out. Come on over here, guys. So on a Dyna, you have 3 drain plugs. 3 holes, 3 drain plugs. Engine, transmission, primary. Now, if you don't know where those are at, I'm sure there are other videos out there that show you, but today I'm gonna show you because this is coming from a credible source, not some Yahoo that thought he knows what he was talking about. So, right here. Right here you have your primary. Right here you have your engine. And then right there you have your transmission. Today only, all we're gonna be doing is draining the engine oil only so that Curtis can have a nice ride, and that is just a touch on the loose side. So we're gonna address that too. It's either a 5/8 or a 1/4 inch Allen head. So if you don't have one and you got the other, or vice versa, doesn't matter. So you can use 2 different things. So we're just gonna pop this loose. Get your drain pan underneath there. Pull out of the way real quick. You know, the pull-out game. You gotta make sure, hey guys, it's me again. You gotta make sure that you pull the dipstick out so that it can actually drain a lot faster than it was. So, yeah.
It's filming.
Oh, okay. All right, guys, so sometimes when you pull your drain plug off, you are going to see a little bit of metal shavings, and that is okay because obviously this motor is rubbing up against metal consistently. There's other moving parts in there that are metal that are covered in oil, which is why you will see just a small. Now, if you start seeing chunks or if you start seeing a big chia pet, then you've got an issue, but a little bit on the magnet is totally fine. So some people like to use Teflon tape. I'm not a big fan of it because when you screw it up in there, it usually will get wadded up down here at the base where the O-ring is. I like to use a Teflon paste. Super simple, just a little bit goes a long way. Just a little boop, just like that. And then take and now you see that there is some that's missing over there. As soon as you thread it in, it will cover the whole area, and then you're good to go. The O-ring is there to stop any leakage, but we want like a 2-factor identification. This is just a 2-factor protection. That's all it is.
It's a double condom.
Double wrapping it.
You're getting no feeling.
She thought I could last long forever. So it's drained quite a bit. You could sit here and let that drain as long as you wanted, but we're not. If I could get it in there, get in the hole. Not too tight, just nice and snug. What I usually do when I'm tightening this up is I'll grab the wrench close to the head because I'm taking out the leverage of the ratchet. So just to where it's nice and snug. And then once the pipe sealant actually adheres to the threads, it will actually kind of acts like Loctite. So one other thing that I want to show you guys while we're under here, your kickstand bumper on a Dyna is notorious for getting kicked up out of the way, and then your kickstand ends up hitting the back of your primary. So what you want to do is take and push this on and then give this a rotation to where the angled part is facing down. You can get this oil filter wrench from Drag Specialties. Don't buy the Walmart, don't buy the Amazon ones. I don't know. I've just had this one from Drag Specialties for, well, it's probably been 15 years, so much to the point where I had to weld a extension in there because it got kind of worn out. But this works. It's got a little cutout for your crank position sensor. So you take and you line that up, drop that in. Once it's loose, just kind of give it a rock, pull it out. So take you a little bit of brake clean and rinse the area off, get all the old oil off of there. The brake clean that we use is an alcohol base, so it doesn't harm finishes or anything like that. So just give that a quick rinse off. And then I like to take a rag and wipe the gasket surface clean. And then take you a little bit of oil, put on your filter O-ring. This does not need to be that tight. Nice and snug, and you're good to go. Do not put that on there with ugga-duggas. Don't use this. And don't use the socket end to install that, because you will have a time trying to get that off. Once that thing seats and it mates to that thing, it is a booger bear to get off, and you don't want those problems. So Dynas are the only ones that are very peculiar about how much oil capacity they hold. They say they hold like 2.5 quarts or whatever. Sometimes if you put 2.5 quarts in, it's not enough. Sometimes if you only put, and if you put 3 quarts in, it's like almost a quart too full. So like usually what I do is I'll put 2 quarts in it, run it, and then I'll recheck the oil, because I have yet, and I've owned a Dyna for 11 years and still have yet to figure out exactly how much oil to pour in there and it be like spot on. Another thing you guys can get, this is from Funnel King. You can get it from Amazon. This is a graduated oil can. It tells you how many quarts. I know you can't really see that. I don't know if that helps, but this is graduated so that you can tell how much oil you're putting in. This thing I use every single day, and it is a killer help whenever I'm just dumping oil in a motorcycle, because I really do know most of the oil capacities. Dynas are the only ones that, well, they're picky little bitches. Get some of that fine liquid gold, know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? So because Curtis's filter is as black as he is, we're gonna get this cleaned up for him.
Hold on. I'm almost his complexion, so I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
So I don't really like open air filters, just because they're that, and they can suck in rain. You know, if you get caught.
I got that rain guard thing in there. Should I leave that on there?
I mean, it'll help. It just looks ugly. We could make this like a two-part, like, hey, if you're going to Daytona, do this, 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 and this. But this is kind of like an all-around check that I'm doing for Curtis before he gets out on the road.
Or on the trailer?
He is trailering it, but he's trailering it to Orlando so that he can ride into Daytona and look like a badass, which Curtis is a badass all around. But that's a whole separate time video and conversation that we could have, guys. I'm gonna show you guys how to properly clean an air filter and how to re-oil it. Something to help you out, hopefully, in the future. This is obviously stuff that I could really be making for my channel, but I'm helping you guys out today. K&N makes, if you don't have a good degreaser, like this is a good degreaser that we use here at work. If you don't have a good degreaser, K&N actually makes an air filter element cleaner. So basically all you're gonna do is just hose this thing down. Inside and out. Get all them fibers saturated. You're gonna wanna make sure you get your water as hot as you possibly can. That'll help clean out all the oil and debris and stuff like that. So we're gonna run this water here for a minute. Whee!
I think that should be the beginning of the video right there.
That should be the beginning of the video. So now that our water's hot, we're just gonna like not spray directly, and also make sure that if you've got a water hose, or if you're cleaning this out in your sink, make sure your wife's not home. That way she don't bitch about it. But you're just gonna clean it out. Now we're going to the Spintron. It's over here. I made this little deal. We're gonna spin dry the air filter so we don't have to wait for it to air out. You know what would be funny is if I like stop it and then I'm like, oh shit, there it goes, get it. Yeah, like this. Oh shit.
I didn't think it would fly off.
Yeah, no, it will. So a common mistake that I see is people over oiling these things. This just needs to be a nice coat on the outside, not inside and out, and then back on the outside to make sure you got it all covered. Because the oil will actually seep into the pleating and then it'll actually just disperse and absorb everywhere else. All this extra overspray, just get you a good rag. Wipe it off.
Yeah, I think I put like 5 times that amount when I
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's way too much.
I was like putting 2 coats of paint when you paint yourself with it. I swear Al is in every video, man. But now you got it sideways.
Oh, sorry, man.
Why'd you rotate it sideways?
Because I know how OCD you are, and I just wanted to see if you'd even notice.
Yes, I noticed.
Okay, all right.
like, why is he rotating this shit sideways after he just took the time to make it straight?
Because it's like the Wheel of Fortune.
No, it needs to be straight.
All right. Okay, fine, Curtis. So much better.
Oh, it says Dyna.
Now listen, you just got like a 2,500 mile service. I don't want to hear no complaining if it's crooked.
It was crooked. It was straight. You made it crooked on purpose. There's a difference.
Oh. Well, we run a tight ship around here.
Yeah, to drive Curtis crazy.
Let's get it down and we'll fire it up, let it run for a few minutes, and then we'll check the oil and top off as needed. Oh, we need to adjust the belt on this. So we're gonna adjust Curtis's belt because it is, well, a little loose. So made this tool a long time ago. Basically, you take a welding rod, bend it at 90 degrees, and then take you a small little zip tie and then cut it at a point like this, and then tighten it on there, and you can slide this. There are locating holes on the swing arm. Different models require different things. Like your touring bikes, they had the cam adjuster, so you didn't need this. Softails, you actually had to go all the way to the pivot bolt on the swing arm, and then you could go to the center of the shaft. On Dynas, there are actually two holes.
Shaft.
I did say shaft. You could use that, shaft. I'm only talking about shaft. But on Dynas, there are little locating holes, and I'll show you. So on a Dyna, this hole right here is actually for checking the swing arm. So basically what you do is you just put this there, try to get it in the center as best as you can. All right, and then we're gonna measure off of this side. Then you come over here to this side, and the swing arm is actually pretty straight. So all we're gonna do is evenly tighten these bolts to bring the swing arm, or to bring the axle shaft back. And that's a T45. I'll do a half turn, so straight down will come 90 degrees. And then because we can't go this way into the tire, you start 90 degrees this way. We need to go another half turn. So this is a belt tension gauge. Basically, there is a 0 mark and then a 10-pound mark. You put this on the belt and then you push up, and then this should be 3/16 of an inch. Each one of these lines on this is 1/16 of an inch. So you get that in there, and then you go 1, 2, and 3. See, I didn't even need a gauge for that, and I could tell you what that was. But for demonstration purposes, this works. So now we'll just tighten up the axle nut to 1 million pounds. So the torque on this is 1 million pounds. Watch. 250, 500, 750, 1 million, click. You know, I kind of wish that I had like long flowing hair, because then I could like take and be like, no, Carla said I look like a bag of assholes.
Oh, well.
No, she did not like Wolverine. Look at that perfectly oiled air filter right now.
It's red. It matches him on now.
Love to have that light. But Custom Dynamics don't want to work with me. I sent you damn all kinds of messages. Ain't nothing happening.
They're gonna see that and be like,
what? Like, yeah, no, we're not working with this guy. Because Curtis has a gangster lean, we're gonna put it on a little 2x4 block I have, so that it actually measures the oil level correctly.
I feel like mine's leans further than yours and Greg's.
Yours does.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. I think so. I think they changed the kickstand on that, because when I was coming up, like trying to like put the kickstand down, I was searching for it.
Yeah, that's
mine.
what I gotta do.
Mine is actually kind of longer, I feel like, and like usually like when I'm rolling up, like I can have my kickstand down as I'm still rolling, and I can like
find it easy.
boop.
Yeah, I gotta like use tickle my toes, but like it's a pain to get it.
About 3/4 of a quart. See, that's why I said If we'd have put 2.5 in, or if we'd have put 3 in, we'd have been over full or still under full. So, which we're still gonna run just a little bit below anyways, and I'll explain why. That's pretty dang good right there. So the reason you don't want to overfill is because they do have an issue with what they call oil carryover. Oil carryover is when at sustained highway speeds, the oil builds up in the top end and has nowhere to go, and it ends up blowing out your breather. That's why you end up with a lot of oil at the bottom of your air filter. So in order to kind of curb that from happening, if you run the oil level just a little bit below full, and usually on the M8s and the later twin cams, it would be like 3 dots from the top. That's usually about that much from the top. That's a good, like, you don't want it to be full. If you do it full, it's fine, but you can and experience some oil carryover issues. All right, y'all, so that is the end of this video. I hope you got some value out of it. In the comment section below, tell Curtis, what kind of oil do you like to run? What's been your go-to? What do you feel like gives you the best value for your money? Make sure you do your part on your side, the little like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for when you know that Curtis is dropping new content, which is happening all the time. Yeah, baby.